Aloha, friends and family. If you're of the smoking persuasion, take you a hit now. Spark up your cigarettes, because this is just going to be laid back and chill. And I almost feel like I need to apologize for speaking about politics on my channel. This is just not something I'm into at all. I'm into it as far as, I know what's up, but I'm not into it as far as I'm not, well, you know what I mean when I say I'm not into it. I'm not duped by it. Today we're going to talk about energy a little bit and whatever comes up, but I kind of got energy on my mind because it's part of this, it's part of the coming to realize who and what humans are, and I guess everything for that matter. Is it all has to do with energy. So I guess when we're thinking about energy as it relates to physicality, energy is the invisible world that produces and brings about the physical, some might say literal world. The literal translation of what you're feeling, thinking, knowing, believing, accepting, rejecting. All of this has to do with energy in the invisible coming through, let us say, the portal that is the human and its consciousness, and then manifestation into physicality occurs so that you can see, touch, taste, smell, experience yourself. So this greater world that we are in is an expression and an experience of ourselves. When we get to that level of consciousness, be able to understand that. Prior to that, you're like one of these leaves out there on the street, getting blown around. You have no say, you have no power. You think, I'm just a leaf, what could I do? And so you just blow with the wind. So I thought I'd maybe try to paint a mental picture, because I've been thinking about this. And it has to do with this energy, of course, that I'm talking about. But let's get a little more specific and talk about chakras of the body. 7. Yes, there's other thought processes, beliefs, teachings, understandings that would take chakras beyond 7. But for today, for simplicity, we're just going to stay with the 7 that are in the body. All right. And each of the 7 chakras is a color, and the color corresponds to many different things. The colors correspond to many different things. One of the things you could think of them as, and everybody probably knows this, is when you shine clear light through a prism, you get a rainbow, which has the 7 colors. So this is sometimes referred to as your rainbow body. That's what that means. Rainbow body means we are 7 spectrums of light corresponding to the chakras in the body that also are colored, starting with the base chakra at red and moving on up. Red, orange, yellow, green, then you get into your blues and your purples. All right, so thinking about this connection, let's just start in the center, in the middle. So that would be the heart chakra, the 4th chakra up or the 4th chakra down. The center, it's green. And this is the, as I've said, the center point of all that we are. Right? And it's green, and our expression, our experience is happening in the material plane on this earth, which just also happens to be green. So Mother Earth is trying to show us that your experience, let us say the heart of your experience, is in the center, and when you get to the external realm, it's going to be, out there in the earth. And so it's green, it matches, it's trying, what am I looking for here? It ties it together. Okay, it ties it together. All right. Your chakras can also be thought of as subtle bodies, energetic bodies, subtle energetic bodies. So you could think then of, if you're in your heart, then you are in your green subtle body. And for the sake of simplicity, because I like visualization, it helps me understand better. So just think of yourself colored green, meaning the layer of yourself that corresponds to your heart is your green chakra subtle body. And just put it into the shape of a human, overlay it over your own body. It's a layer of you. Okay, and so all the other chakras also work this way. So if you've made it to the heart chakra, to the green subtle body, then you've arisen, you've ascended 4 layers of yourself. And if you go deep into the different chakras, and they also correspond to emotions. They also correspond to different things. So you can get into and search and research and find out, or just meditate and find out what the chakras correspond to. So if you're, let us say, if somebody's in 3rd density consciousness, they're in their root chakra, you could picture them red, which makes kind of sense. They're probably going to be a little bit angrier, a little more frustrated, or they might just be in a rage. Because if all the consciousness you're working with is root chakra consciousness, you're ready to fight or run. You haven't developed past that type of thinking yet. But most of you, at least here on my channel, are almost assuredly in your heart chakra, or you would have said F this New Ager and got out of here. So you've already made it to your heart chakra and beyond. But another way to look at it for a mental picture, just again, for the simplicity's sake of understanding, is that the lower chakras, you could picture the subtle bodies of the lower chakras emanating upwards. In other words, picture, the redness of the subtle body of the root chakra starting at the feet and then moving up and becoming its brightest, let us say, at the feet. And then as you move up towards the head, it dims somewhat. And the first three chakras are all lower body chakras. So they're all moving, if you will, in an upward fashion towards the heart. Now we could also look at the three upper chakras and picture them in reverse, if you will, emanating down from the head. So the crown chakra would be purple, and it would start at the head and emanate downward. And so these energies, these colored energies, are emanating from below and from above into the center point, into the heart, into that portal that then broadcasts this power, this energy, this that's good enough, this power and energy. It broadcasts it into the material plane where things manifest. So if you want to, if we wanted to think of ourselves as like a wizard, then what is the magic that the wizard is using? Like, what is it? Does he have some secret crystal and he's able to extract magical power from that crystal, or a crystal ball, or is there a genie lamp that does this? No, it's all you. It's all us. It's all part. It's built in. It's built in. Your magic and your power is built into your multidimensional self, which at the level we're speaking about right now is the human level. And again, made of these energies that correspond to many things within and without. And listening to Fire Drake and Zigzag recently talking about dreams got me thinking about dreams a little bit. And I started thinking, what could dreams really mean? Like, what's really happening? Not what's happening with dreams, but just what does it mean to dream, period? Like, what is it showing us? And what I came to realize was that dreams are showing us that when you're in a dream, when you're in your dreams, it's going to be hard to explain this, I think. When you're in your dreams, things work very similarly to how they work here. Although there are these strange anomalies almost always that are present. And sometimes there's very bizarre stuff. And all that stuff, let us say all the physical imagery and whatnot that goes with dreams, has to do with you personally. So they would be your symbols, your struggles, maybe, your stuff having to do with you and your life. So it's very personal for you. It's a very personalized activity, right, in the dreams. But I think the dreams are really it's actually so simple that I almost missed it myself, because I think it is so simple. But again, we're paradoxes, and anything that's simple, there's a complex side to it. And anything that's complex, there's a simple side to it. So it's a spectrum, and it just depends on where you want to put your consciousness and what it is you're wanting to understand or find out, etc. But so in a nutshell, for dreams, I think dreams are simply trying to help us remember that all of life is a dream. All of life is a dream. And in your dream, like if you master anything, I don't know, anything in your dream, like if you are able to accomplish something, or you're able to even wake up to the fact that you're in a dream, and then be even more conscious of what you're doing in your dream. It's just showing us that, look, life is like this. This is how life is. But see, when you go back to your real world, your supposed real world, what we call the real world, when you go back there, you've been programmed to basically just dismiss the dream world. Dismiss all other worlds. Dismiss all other realities. And see, in all this dismissing they have us doing, we're dismissing ourselves. Eventually you're going to dismiss so much stuff that you basically aren't even going to be there anymore. And so all that will be left is what we see in a lot of times in this world. People are shells, hollow, pretty much unconscious shells that are very much rooted in believing all the shit that they believe, and they've dismissed everything else as fictional to the point they don't even dream anymore. They don't even have dreams, meaning waking or asleep. Which, you know, if you if we can look at negativity, see, that's why I don't like to talk about politics, because we literally are having to put our conscious focus onto negative. And see, that's uncomfortable, but I just talked about that yesterday, is we can't always just be comfortable about this growth. Growth is not always comfortable, right? When your feet grew and they no longer fit the shoe size that you were wearing, your feet became uncomfortable. But that uncomfortability was merely giving you a signal that something needs to change. And in that case, you just needed bigger shoes. In this case, this bigger case of that, is we need to reevaluate. But see, again, low conscious people are going to think that reevaluate everything means reevaluate everything externally. And then let us say shuffle your beliefs. Maybe drop a couple of beliefs and maybe pick up a couple of new beliefs. That's not what this is. I mean, we have to reevaluate internally. We have to reevaluate every single thing that we came to believe, not about the external world, about our own selves. Because clearly we all have amnesia to whatever degree, right? We haven't remembered all the stuff that we're right now in the process of remembering. And we will remember much more, believe me. This journey doesn't end. But until you're on the journey, you're nowhere. You're not in the game. So until people get in the game, the real game, out of the Monopoly game and into this virtual reality game called your life, like really in it, then we're just like leaves blowing around out there. And if you, even though, let us say we all have amnesia about past lives, like, who were you 10 lives ago? You have no idea, probably. You don't know. And I don't know. And that's fine. We don't need to know. But what we do need to know is that we had a life 10 lifetimes ago, and that we were somebody 10 lives ago, and that we experienced a life 10 lifetimes ago, and that we learned a lot of stuff in that life. And what good are the past lives doing us? Meaning, what good is what we learned in the past lives doing us if we can't apply it right now, if we can't bring it into the present moment? All the knowledge that we have acquired on this very, let us say, long and arduous journey of ascension out of duality is just going to waste because it's buried so deep in our subconscious we don't even access it. And probably, a lot of people don't even believe that it's there, don't know that it's there. But think about it. How could you, if you experienced multiple lives and gained whatever you gained, hopefully wisdom, understanding, etc., they're sort of just like wasted lives, right? If you can't apply what you learned and what you know to right now. So this is how fractalized we are, individually and collectively. This should be your own proof to your own self if you're in doubt. Right? So can you imagine what your life's going to be like as we all continue to grow and remember and begin to pull all that knowledge and wisdom from all the many, many, many past lives, years, centuries, what have you? How did we ever get to the point where we believed about ourselves that we were just this leaf blowing in the wind? So, whatever deception is, whether it comes from within you or without of you, whatever it is, it sure does a number on us. It really debilitates us. And so now, the earth basically reached a point where the outside realm said and knew, look, these people, they just are not gonna, they don't even have a chance of coming back from their amnesia, coming back to remembrance, coming back to origin. They don't even have the chance in their world. Their world has been so hijacked, so twisted, so manipulated, so distorted, so confused, that the best you're going to find there is people with very organized belief systems. That's the best you're going to find. And how many centuries could that go on? Like if nothing was done, no intervention. And again, the intervention is not the violation of free will kind of intervention. It's the coming through the portal type of intervention that merely presented knowledge and information. And with this knowledge and information, you could become activated. It would awaken the sleeping part of you. It would awaken the subconscious memories that are so deep and suppressed. And through just that, just taking in this information from wherever it came. Let's say it was channeled, through a human into a book and put in that form, or it was channeled directly from a person and someone spoke it to you, or you had dreams and visions. Regardless of how, let us say, they get to us, what it is meant to do is activate our souls, really. That's really what it's meant to do. Activate our souls. Because if you're just a hollow person and you've dismissed all your subtle bodies and all your layers, and you just have a few strongly held beliefs, and you're very unaware of this much greater, expansive reality, I'll call it for lack of a better word, right? If you're in that state, I guess it really doesn't matter if we try to decide or think about or discuss whether the person is soulless or not. If your soul is unactivated and dormant and cold and buried in your cellar, you might as well be soulless because it's not functioning. So the whole deal, as far as the outside realm wanting to reach us in this internal realm, was to activate our souls, because once your soul is activated, all this will come back to you if you stay with it. And you will. I personally don't know of anybody that has gotten on the path, that has become activated, and then, a year later they were like, I got bored with it or whatever. You don't get bored with this. You don't get tired of this. As I said, this doesn't end. And as it expands, it just gets better, because the more you understand and know yourself, the better your life is. Maybe not in the beginning. Again, the beginning of anything is tough, right? When you move from one house to another house, you want to move bad. You're excited, let us say. You're excited about your new house. You're excited about your move and all this. But in the beginning, when you still have to pack up, when you still have to move everything, when you still have to make all the preparations and get electricities turned on and turned off and deposit all this stuff, it doesn't seem, you question maybe. You're like, man, did I really want to move? Did I really want to do this? This is a pain in the ass. Right? So that's the beginning. But after you're moved, after everything's put back in place, after everything settles down, and you take those deep breaths and you're sitting on your deck or your front porch or whatever, then you really realize, man, I'm so glad I did this. And that's what this is like. And it just gets better. And your life gets better. And time goes by super fast because I didn't realize, wow, 31 minutes has already gone by. Holy cow. All right, well, I hope I got out everything I was wanting to get out. I think it's going to cut off before long. So love and light, my friends. Until next time, maybe we'll do a part 2 if need be. Wholeness, till next time. Keep it real.